Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 23 and another part of the Immersive Driver Career Mode with Alfa Romeo. Today we have got the Brazilian Grand Prix, the actual race. We had the sprint race last time out, and it all was going fine. And then we had an incident with Esteban Ocon. It all ended very, very badly. I am tempted to take a brand new engine, but I'm not going to do that. We have, of course, got the rain today. That's going to mix things up, so I'm looking forward to seeing how we get on in this Grand Prix. It's going to be an intense one. We've got to try and stay out of trouble and make sure we take advantage of any of the opportunities that come our way.
Formula One returns to Interlagos once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012, and just 4 years later, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 left turns and 6 right turns for a total of 15 corners. It's a wet one today as well, so grip and visibility will be at a premium, and the drivers will need to be careful coming up the hill in Sector 3, the scene of many an accident over the years. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Gasly, Norris, Albon, Magnussen, Stroll, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Sargent, De Vries, Ocon, the captain, and George Russell ends our grid lineup. And now it's time to head down to the track. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is none other than Anthony Davidson. So, let's briefly discuss Lewis Hamilton. They need third or better to ensure that they stay in contention for the championship, and anything outside of that, their fate is
that was funny. Don't know why that happened.
To keep in the right mindset. We've seen time and again that things go wrong if you just try and do the minimum. Not necessarily because of the pressure, but because it's different to your usual approach. They'll need to avoid that and stay focused today.
Well, that was an interesting glitch, having Alex Jakes come in there. We are looking at a one-stop strategy. I don't actually know what a zero-stop would look like if I was to remove that stint altogether. If we were to push that all the way, yeah, you know, that is going to be a slower way to go about it, so we will stick with that. We want to take as much of the fuel out of the car as possible. I'm actually tempted to just hit it right on the nose of how much fuel we need. We tend to use a lot less fuel in the rain, so I'm intrigued to see how it goes today. Yeah, as I say, you know, we just got to try and keep ourselves out of trouble. That's got to be the number 1 sort of target, but we've generally had pretty good form.
Stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of this lap.
We've generally had pretty good form on the wet conditions, so I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to do that. Got Ocon there right in front of us. We need to absolutely make sure that we are.
So the rain's easing off a bit, but the track is still going to be wet for a while. Be careful.
You know, giving it full beans. You know, need to be aggressive, but we certainly cannot afford to have any incidents. No spins, no front wing losses. No penalties. That's the target for today. Nice and clean race. as I say, you know, I'm expecting that we'll actually be pretty fast today and be able to slice our way through the field, but with that speed comes great responsibility to make sure you're not just going for everything. You're waiting for the right moment, and that's exactly what we have to do. And we'll start off at the start, and that's where we're gonna have our key moment, I think, and an opportunity to finish or make as many overtakes as we can, get right back up towards the points. We're actually gonna aim it to the left slightly here. And there we go. I was gonna go right, but that is actually off the track and we won't get away with that. So here we go then, ready for the Brazilian Grand Prix. 25 laps of mayhem are underway here as it's lights out. Away we go for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and it's a good start off the grid. We end up going to the right anyway. We need to make sure that we're not going off the track, although a little bit of grass on the tyres there sent us straight on. Oh, well, there you go. Little incident already. That's absolutely not what we needed. Is the car okay? That's the main thing we have to ask. I'm okay with a spin.
Tyre condition still looking good,
because that keeps us out of trouble for a little bit, but a little bit disappointing. We just, you know, we had a bit of grass on our tyres, a lack of grip there, but it shouldn't be long before we're back up towards that train, but just annoying more than anything else. And there you go, folks. So look how quickly we've caught up to the back of this. By the end of this lap, we are within 2 seconds. So it's really okay that we had that spin at turn 1. That shouldn't really affect our race too much. Well, we're already side by side with George Russell. Make the move there.
High. Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
I was thinking about it down the inside there, but that's where it's going to be really tricky today. Is deciding where is the right place to overtake these guys, and that's why we needed really to take advantage of lap 1.
If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do.
Well, everybody's sort of figuring it out, if you like. We could have been slicing our way through the field, but it's not happened, and we've just got to think of another way around it now. Oh, for God's sake. We literally followed the same line as Russell there. That's our second warning, so I'm going to have to be really careful with that for the rest of this Grand Prix now. Already Ocon and De Vries side by side. Russell trying to make some headway there. Is there going to be any sort of incident here? Well, to be fair, there's us going down the inside of Russell. We'd identified that was a place that he was slow last lap, and now we're up to 19th. Well, that's not a corner where we can really make too much of an inroad. This could be a chance on Nick De Vries though, and we do go down the inside and we are through. And that's alright. That'll do nicely.
Good job, nice overtake.
So P18 now, and next up, Esteban Ocon. Oh, hang on a minute. Slick tyres? You've got to be having a laugh. We cannot be going to slick tyres. That's surely not right.
Okay, Russell's behind.
That's not what I wanted.
Now gap behind is 1.3 seconds.
And what I want to know is if intermediates are the best
tyres.
tyres.
It might just be about time to come and change these tyres.
Onto what though? I think weather conditions is the way
Okay,
you get it, isn't it?
To be the fastest tyre for now. We're currently trailing our teammate by 7.8 seconds.
So they're saying full wets there. So, God's sake.
Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done.
That's so annoying. Well, I think now that we've got the penalty, I think I might try and risk some intermediate tyres. Surely we are not going to be on slick tyres anytime soon. It is so wet out there. I am going to come in and put on some intermediate tyres.
At the end of this lap, please.
Because we've got to try and be risky now. We're in 18th place. We're not making time fast. And it's very impressive, don't get me wrong. It's impressive we've got back into this fight, considering what happened to turn 1. But if we want to make any inroads, we're going to have to be on the right tyre at the right time and before anyone else. So we're going to make that call. We're just going to check one more time.
Will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay. Inters and wets will probably have very similar pace at the moment.
That's fine. So we're coming into the pits and we're going to give it a go. We're going to see how this all works. Fingers crossed it will benefit us.
That's it. Go, go, go. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
And I think the next tyre will be slicks. As long as the rain stays how it is at the moment. So we're 17.2 seconds behind as we leave the pit lane. Let's see how quickly we can make that up on these intermediate tyres. Well, you can see this is definitely the right tyre to be on. We've made up 3.2 seconds on Nick de Vries on this lap alone. I'm putting in purple sector times, so we're on the right tyre. How long will it be before anyone else follows us? That's the question. And this is the mother of all undercuts.
Our gap to the car in front.
Piastri's in the pit lane. Is he going to switch to the intermediate tyres? Is he going to be a trailblazer? Yeah. He's onto the inters, and there you go, 19.9. Fastest lap of the race, 4 seconds quicker than anything we'd produced before that. And we are absolutely closing in on these guys now. This is what we needed to do. So Piastri will be the other one that's setting good times out there. Well, as I said, we always have to try and make it count. We have to be on the right tyres at the right time and before anyone else. And this is exactly what we've managed here. You can see Nick de Vries struggling up ahead as most of the other guys are staying out on wet tyres. It's gonna just play into our hands. The thing I'm wondering, are people trying to hold out for slick tyres?
Okay,
but look how quickly.
Right tyres for the time being.
Look how quickly we passed Nick de Vries there, and how smoothly it was done as well. Surely people aren't considering slick tyres at this point. It's still raining out there. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what the strategy is. Hulkenberg in the pits. Yeah, some people are taking notice of these tyres and how good they are. Hulkenberg puts on intermediates, so yeah, no slick tyres just yet. Let's have a little look.
Seems to be the fastest tyre for now.
Inters are definitely the fastest. We're not even in a crossover zone. So now we've got Russell and Ocon. And then Yuki Tsunoda. And we go down the inside of Russell again. Same corner. It's these corners where we just have so much more confidence.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
So much more grip. And now down the inside of Ocon, and this is where the benefits are really apparent to be seen here. But I think these guys are just doubling down on their strategy. Because if they don't, then they're admitting to being a pit stop behind, essentially. But there's a Ferrari coming out of the pit lane. Not sure what tyres the Ferrari are on. Well, here's Logan Sargent. We should be past him fairly easily. The old switcheroo, little bit of ERS as well. You can see the straight line speed. But we are through and up to 13th position. And most importantly, making up that 3 seconds on the group that we were behind before. And this is exactly what I said. Now we had that penalty. It allowed us the clarity of mind to be able to risk this. That's the thing. We are going to need a pit stop at some point. More than likely. Don't think these inters will last to the end of the race. They might do. Whoa! Stroll come right across us there. That was pretty ridiculous. Could have lost a bit of front wing there. Luckily for us and luckily for him, we didn't. Now around the outside.
Valtteri's in the pits.
Bottas is in the pits now. We have got some yellow flags. Not entirely sure what's going on here. Well, that's Carlos Sainz. I mean, what's going on? Gasly's out.
Virtual safety car. Virtual safety car.
Have we just lost a bit of our front wing? No. Somehow. Whoa! 5 second penalty. Come on. Come off it.
Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
This is ridiculous. I mean, at least the next 5 seconds will be taken off at our pit stop, but that I'm furious about that. The Stroll just absolutely broke or brake tested us. Come on. It's got to be ending soon, surely.
Okay, VSC ending. We're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags. Okay,
and there it is. We can go down the inside now. We got to make up this time. Come on! This is just ridiculous. Right, We go down the inside this time. Most people have made the transition now to intermediate tyres. Go down the inside of Magnussen there. Yeah, I have no idea where an 8-second penalty will leave us, but we just gotta own it and move on.
Okay, gap ahead is 5.8.
Yeah, we're still absolutely in as the best tyre. Tell you what's interesting though, the top 5 I think are still on wet tyres.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
9 laps to go here. And in wet conditions, I don't know how well the AI will be able to pass each other, even those on intermediate tyres.
Radar showing a clear patch on its way. There's about 10 more minutes of this rain.
As we set a purple middle sector there. So the track is getting better. Every lap, these tyres are still lasting okay. Coming up to the line, and it is a new fastest lap for us. And we are, funnily enough, 8 seconds ahead of Kevin Magnussen. Look how much quicker the Inters are now than the wet tyres. Sainz is through. He's going to be a bit of a problem, but Sainz is also ridiculously faster than most of those guys. So I'm intrigued to see where we actually end up here. Are we going to end up inside the points? Sainz now up to 8th. Now Lando Norris is the next guy. We need to get in front of him pretty quickly here. Should be able to make a manoeuvre. We're going around the outside this time. A bit more grip around there in these conditions, and we are through. Very nicely.
Good work. Great pass.
Once again. In a really nice position. So 4 seconds behind Leclerc, of course, 5 seconds behind Fernando Alonso, who's the next wet tyre runner.
Distance between yourself and the car behind.
Are they going for a zero stopper here? They must be. They must be going for a zero stopper. Which we thought was just going to be too slow. And that rain is getting very, very light now. This dry line is getting drier. Charles Leclerc, he's stuck.
The weather's certainly eased off for the time being, but we've still got a lot of standing water out there. We're happy for you to stay out on the Inters for now.
Leclerc is stuck behind Fernando Alonso. He's not got the confidence to make a move. You know for a fact that we're going to make a move here. So let's get in the action. There goes Leclerc. Oh, he was having a look. I think Alonso came over to defend. But there goes Leclerc. Surely this is going to be him making the move around the outside into turn 1, and we just need to wait around. There's a little bit of tyre-to-tyre contact as Carlos Sainz sets the fastest lap of this race so far. He's definitely the fastest man out there. He's going to be faster than us, we know that. Our job is to be 8 seconds ahead of the wet tyre runners and see how far we get, essentially. Look how much Leclerc has made up on Fernando. We'll try and stick to the inside. We don't want another Stroll incident. We are through quite comfortably there.
That's it, mate. You're taking 5th.
As I say, even with these penalties, we will be so far ahead of most of these guys that we'll be able to make this work. So Leclerc's just lost a large amount of time there to Max Verstappen. Should be able to pass him on the straight, and he goes for the inside. And there we go, Leclerc is through on Max Verstappen. So Leclerc up to 3rd. There's only 2 more guys to get now, Perez and Lewis Hamilton. And we go for the switcheroo, but Verstappen comes over. How many times has that happened now? Too many, in my opinion. The AI just not aware. We are there, I suppose. You know, the coding in the AI is to run us hard on virtually equal cars. This is, you know, like an F1 car taking on an F2 car. That's the speed differential we've got, and these are the fastest cars on the grid. And we are still able to do that. Yeah, man. We've got 5 laps to go after this. We should have Lewis Hamilton, and then I think it'll quiet down for a little bit after that. But look at that, Hamilton.
An interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now.
Hamilton very much coming over to defend there. Leclerc retakes the lead of this Grand Prix. Now we've put Max Verstappen in the clutches of Lewis Hamilton. The championship battle, have we just affected that? Because Hamilton was well ahead of Max. Now just 0.3 of a second, but either which way, we're up to 3rd. We've got to try and get 8 seconds ahead of these guys by the end of the race. Well, here we go, no chance for Perez to come over and defend, so we are through.
Nice move, good job.
On Sergio Perez, and well, now we've got to try and build an 8-second gap. That's the job here, as Charles Leclerc puts in fastest lap.
So we're looking at another 5, maybe 10 minutes of this rain. Inter seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
Still at Inter's being the fastest tyre, but some people are still on the wets. And I guess, you know, at this point they're thinking, well, not coming into the pits at all
and that's just 5 laps
is
of fuel
better
remaining.
than sacrificing this track position that we've got. Okay, we might finish behind Sainz, we might finish behind the captain. We might, obviously will finish behind Leclerc now. But if we pit and something goes wrong, we could be out of the race. So I guess that's the way they're looking at it. Although Norris has just come in.
Dry track soon. Back to dry shortly.
I think maybe as Verstappen hasn't. It says that we're going to be running on a dry track soon. I don't really see evidence of that, but I'm happy for him to get excited. So we're 4 seconds ahead of Perez, and we've got 3 laps to go. We're currently P4, if you take the 8-second penalty into account. And that would be absolutely incredible. So, final lap of this Brazilian Grand Prix, and honestly, it looks like we are going to finish in the top 3. It looks like the Red Bulls are coming into the pits on the final lap of this race. So there's absolutely no chance that we are going to finish behind them. It's going to be a podium finish, which is unbelievable, really. And Bottas, P4, look at that. Oh, my God. P3 and P4 for the Alfa Romeo Sauber team. Hamilton's going to finish P5. He came into the pits on the previous lap. Must have had an inkling that the tyres were going to completely go off, because that's what Max Verstappen has certainly thought, as well as Perez on that final lap there. They're thinking, wow, we're going to have to do this. But Yuki Tsunoda, fastest lap of the race. It's going to be Charles Leclerc that comes over the line. He finishes in first position. We are going to finish on track in second. But by the time Carlos Sainz comes over the line, it's going to be P3 and our second podium of the season. What an awesome race.
Yes, nice
and
work,
what
mate.
a strategy call that was.
Today. Pretty sure the boss is going to be happy with that one.
A great race then, very much as we've come to expect, and a fantastic victory here at Interlagos. Tell me, Ant, how do they manage to achieve this win?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Well, absolutely awesome to see ourselves on the podium once again.
Well, it wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Let's see how the drivers' standings have changed. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to the captain. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo, whose good result moves them further up the championship. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, you've got to look at who were the people that go on intermediate tyres. Charles Leclerc, Sainz, ourselves, Bottas, Piastri and Hülkenberg. And we all finished in the top 11. I think that's pretty damning of the strategy teams of the other guys. Hamilton, in the end, he got fastest lap with a 16.5. Did he put on soft tyres there at the end? No, just intermediates. Fresh intermediates were really doing the rounds. So others will regret that, I think, not turning on to the fresh intermediates towards the end of the race. We smashed it. We got 15 points. Bottas got 12. That is fantastic. I do just want to see that start again, because it was an interesting start, wasn't it? And maybe we need to look at highlights rather than... There it is, highlights, rather than the replay. And you can see as we had lights out, Charles Leclerc off to a good start there. And there's us on the outside. I'm intrigued what happens here, because we get a little bit of grass on our tyres. We come round, and then a little bit of contact with De Vries and spun round at turn one. But I said, you know, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. And and we pushed on and managed to splice our way through the field. It really was quite nice in the end how we were doing it, and you know, generally nice and clean. Obviously the incident with Stroll is one that will be a frustration, that we ended up getting a penalty from that, but it wouldn't have really mattered. We'd have finished second in the end anyway. Let's have a look at the standings. We're just 4 points behind Lando Norris in the race for 8th in the championship. In the constructors, we're back up to 5th, which is awesome, and that's a big bank of points. That should secure 5th in the championship. In terms of the actual Drivers' Championship, Hamilton versus Verstappen, 10 points between them, 2 races to go. It's going to be exciting. If we look at the constructors as well, Red Bull only 13 ahead of Mercedes. And hey, if Hamilton and Verstappen have an incident next time out, Perez and Russell finish 1-2, they're well back into the fight as well for Abu Dhabi. So that's where we're going to leave it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed that, then give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.